Hello guys, and welcome to a brand new video. I do apologise if there is a little bit of wind. I am filming from Nest Point in Lowestoft. This is actually the second take of this video because, as you'll probably see from the video that comes out on Monday, I do mention that I filmed this video you're about to watch in a different location. However, I'll explain the reason why this is take two instead of take one. So the reason this is take two of take one, so I recorded a video the other day and I went home and I was getting ready to do the editing for the video as I was going to have it released hopefully on Monday. However, I've now replaced it with the second video I took on the day that I did the filming of the first one, because I mentioned one thing. I mentioned the wrong month. In that video I mentioned that we were in the middle of October or towards the end of October. However, that's not the case. We're actually on the back end of September. We're actually into now the final weekend of September when this video is being filmed. So that's one of the main reasons why this video has been redone, but also because since doing that first video I have made one other upgrade to the X8R-X ped, which you will see in just a moment, as I'm going to talk through with you guys the upgrades that I've done to the ped to not only extend its lifespan but to also improve storage capacity, which is kind of a big giveaway as to what one of the upgrades are. Friends of the channel who know me personally and know the channel already know these upgrades because I've been speaking to them about it, but this video is for you guys who I don't see on a daily basis or who I don't get to see as often, and just explain to you what I've done to improve it and what is likely to come over the next 2, maybe 3 months, maybe even towards 2026 when we'll do those upgrades. So let me take you around the bike and show you what I've done. So the upgrades, I think we'll start with the first one, which is very obvious to the eyes, and it is of course the big massive top box on the back of the ped. So this box in particular is now no longer being made by Honda, so it is a discontinued item. Not surprising given the fact that the ped is 24 years old. I actually had to source this from the Netherlands, so it was hard to actually find an original top box for the ped. However, I did have to get, when I purchased the top box, I did have to also get down here, you can just see it here, the adapter kit for the top box, because this top box doesn't fit directly onto the silver handle on the back. I actually had to put the adapter rack or the adapter kit onto the metal bar and then put the top box onto the top of that. We'll come round to the back of the ped. So as you can see, I've got 2 buttons. So this button is for locking this little tab up here. Obviously we've got the key, and then this button down here is to obviously take the top box on and off its adapter rack. Obviously these can only be pressed once the key is in the unlock position, and then obviously these will pop open. And it is a 26 litre fuel box, 26 litre storage box, sorry. So big enough to put my helmet in. The 2 helmets I do have are quite big, which don't fit underneath in the underseat storage, so this is one of the reasons why I bought this box. But also it comes in handy for extra capacity when it comes to doing the shop. So a little bit of, you know, sort of light shopping, that kind of stuff, so like the groceries and all that kind of stuff. So that's why that's the reason, one of the reasons why I bought it. So obviously it helped extend the storage capacity, because I didn't have a top box come with the ped. Cost me £94 in total, so that's for the top box and for the little adapter stand on the bottom. Obviously most of the money going towards the top box. Top box was about 60 odd pounds. It was about 65 pounds. So but yeah, to be fair, I'm not too fussed how much it costs, because I'm actually glad that I've got a top box that actually fits the bike and was originally designed for the X8R-X as well. So very pleased with that. Another little upgrade that I've done since you last saw the ped on the channel, when I did a video back in August, after I sort of recently purchased the ped, is down here but obviously you can't see it because it's underneath this cover. So this cover houses the air filter, and it's the only way I can describe it, it's like a foam filter. So it's not your traditional sort of air filter that you get in a motor vehicle, or like a car and stuff like that. It's just a small piece of foam. Now it comes in two sort of different versions. You can get a regular foam filter, which is unoiled, and then you can get an oiled version. However, the original in the original owner's manual that I was able to track down on eBay for this ped, it says that before you install the air filter, it needs to be oiled before going in. So I just purchased the one that was pre-oiled, and literally just took the old one out and popped the new one. Well, took the old one out, gave the inside a clean to get rid of any debris or junk inside, because there was a little bit in there, and then I installed a brand new air filter. The old one was black, so I couldn't really tell whether it was absolutely clogged up or not, but just like for the sake of safety, I mean, to be fair, when I was riding it with the old filter in, you could hear it sort of struggling to suck air in. So took that out, gave it a clean, put a new one in, which was blue, and I say it was already pre-oiled, so I didn't have to worry about oiling the air filter. And then I just basically popped it in place, and then obviously screwed it back on. And with the fact it's blue, if there's any debris and if it starts to get clogged up, I'll be able to tell, because obviously the debris will dirty it and stuff like that, and obviously it'll go from blue into black and, you know, all the sort of dirty colours to let me know that it's now struggling. But did that a few weeks back, and so far it's been running fine. It's not been struggling for air, so that is a very good thing indeed. Another upgrade I have done is now towards the front of the ped. So we will walk you around and just take you down here. So the next one is this little device down here. So this is the speed drive hub, which obviously registers the speed and the mileage of the ped. Now, when I bought the bike back at the beginning of August, it had an old speed drive hub on it, but it didn't work. So the mileage and the speedo didn't work at all. The previous owner originally told me that they thought it was the actual sort of dash itself, the actual speedo on the dash. That wasn't the case. That works absolutely fine, since I obviously installed a new hub. Also believed it could have potentially been the cable. So obviously you see the cable here, the speedo cable. Bought a new one. New one, turns out it was just a little bit short, even though it was the longest one I could get. However, we found out after inspecting the cable was absolutely fine. Big shout out to my mate Wayne for helping me with the work on this, by the way, because he had all the proper maintenance tools to be able to carry out the checks for me. So shout out to Wayne, so thank you. And he also helped me with installing the new drive hub. So we checked, obviously once we realised that this was fine, we checked, realised it was a speedo drive hub that was absolutely worn to bits. So we took the old one off, popped the new one on, and then hooked it all up. And since we've had it on, we did test run, and it works absolutely fine. The speedo runs about 10 miles an hour out of alignment. So just to give some sort of an example, if I'm doing, say, around 40 miles an hour, or if it's indicating 40 miles an hour on the speedo, I'm actually doing 30. So it's actually quite handy to sort of adjust speed. So if I'm in a 20 mile an hour zone, I know if it tells me I'm doing 30, I'm actually doing 20. So that's actually not too bad. To be fair, 9 times out of 10, I have my phone on with the navigation, and that usually tells me my speed as well. So I'm able to sort of like take 2 and get like an average speed sort of out of them. But yeah, so that was another upgrade we did to the ped, and we now have obviously our mileage clock going up, as well as the speedo registering, even if it does like register the wrong speed. But as my father-in-law said, it's better to be going over than to be sort of going under. Obviously anyone who's driven driven or ridden longer than me will probably understand that reference. The next and final upgrade that I've done, which I did prior to the making of the first video, so another reason for why I'm filming this again for a second time, is actually under the access panel here. So obviously when I bought it, it had a Yuasa battery. It was a YTR-4 ABS battery, which, to be fair, at the time it was working fine. It'd do the lights, it'd do the indicators, brake lights, obviously the electric starter and everything was fine. Give it about last week, a couple of weeks ago, got to the point where it would work the lights, work all the lights and all that, but it wasn't doing the electric starter. Obviously, we've got an electric horn as well, so it was doing all that, but it wasn't doing the electric starter. It still had power in it, it just didn't have enough power to obviously operate the electric starter. One way I could tell that was because the fuel gauge would move to indicate that there is power. It just is, not enough there to actually get the engine into life. So I've been having to use the Kickstarter. Kickstarter works. First time, the first attempt on the Kickstarter works fine. Sometimes it takes 2, maybe 3 attempts before it will actually kick into life. But I ordered a battery on Thursday, was told expected delivery on Monday. By sheer luck, it turned up yesterday. So today's Saturday, so it turned up on Friday when I was originally filming this video. So this is why this is take 2 of, it's take 2 of 2, and it's not the first attempt video. But yeah, replaced it with a new battery. The new battery is an Ultramax battery, exactly same type, YTR-4 ABS. Popped it in. The connector for the wires is slightly different to the connector on the top of the battery. However, it does still fit. The positive and the negative slot into their slots perfectly fine. And I've been running it around yesterday evening, running it around so far today, and no issues. It starts up first time, everything works. Couldn't ask for more. So that's another update that's been done. That I just thought I'd share with you guys, because that upgrade was done after I'd already made the first video, so I thought I'd add that in for you folks. And of course, the upgrades that are still to come for the X8R-X, which will likely be done probably November, December time, if not probably at some point during next year, obviously is down here on the exhaust. I am going to get a brand new exhaust for it. I'm going to keep it pretty much as it is. So obviously that's the performance exhaust on the PED. I'm going to get a new performance exhaust. I'm not sure which one to go for yet. I don't know whether to go for the same brand. That one's a Technogas exhaust. I don't know whether to go for the same one or go for I think it's a Gelani exhaust or something like that. Obviously, those who know their exhaust for PEDs and motorbikes, obviously comment down below. What do you prefer? Do you prefer a Gelani exhaust? Do you prefer a Technogas? Does it not really matter? Let me know, because this is someone who doesn't know much about bikes and stuff like that, or sort of performance bits and pieces for vehicles. But let me know, what would you rather have? Would you rather fill it with a Gelani exhaust, or would you fill it with an Arrows exhaust? I don't think I can get an Arrows exhaust for this PED, but do I get an Arrows one? Do I get an AR Racing one? If they do it for this brand, let me know what you would go for. At the moment, I'm probably going to go like for like, so replace it with the exact same part. But yeah, let me know what you would do. But yeah, that will get done. That probably won't be done until 2026. Obviously, if it comes up in an advisory on its MOT when it's next due, which is in February next year, if they say, yeah, you need to get the exhaust changed pretty much as soon as possible, then I will look at doing that. But we'll see how I go. I have got this, well, I am going to be booking this in for service probably within the next month or so I can get it sort of all up, because I know the tyres need to be done at some stage, so I'm going to get them done whilst I get everything else done. Another big upgrade that will be done at some point will obviously be the seat. Obviously, we've got the botch job tape on. I can't speak today. Obviously, that's just covering up a little rip on the vinyl covering. I am going to get this replaced. Obviously, it's like £145 for a brand new whole seat unit, which obviously just undoes by literally one screw and a nut. Obviously, that comes off. That comes, yeah, those come out. That comes off, and the new one goes on. Screws back on. Job done. So, looking into that. Again, this is quite a big job just because of the price. So this will probably be done in 2026 as well. Just because I don't obviously want to do everything all on top of each other. Other upgrades that will likely be done, and I don't mean upgrades as in modifications, but also upgrades to extend the life of the ped. When I get it in for service, I will probably get them to not only change the spark plug, so we have a new spark plug put in, but I'm also going to get the two-stroke engine fitted. Well, I say two-stroke engine fitted, sorry. I'm not going to get it fitted, but I'm going to obviously get the two-stroke carburetor clean, and obviously if I can stretch to it, I may potentially ask them to literally strip the engine down completely and give the engine a complete refurb. Well, when I say refurb, probably more like a sort of really good deep clean, so clean the carburetor, clean probably like the piston and stuff like, you get rid of any sort of excess carbon deposits and stuff like that that may be within the two-stroke, just to sort of preserve the life of it, extend its life and stuff, because the last thing I want to be doing is having to buy a whole brand new two-stroke engine for the ped, and then it end up costing a pretty little fortune. So probably get that done on a service, because I would rather trust some mechanics to do it, because they'll have all the tools and the know-how. And the last thing I want to be doing is taking an engine apart and then not knowing how it all goes back together, and then having a ped without an engine. But yeah, so we'll get that done. So carb clean, probably get the engine stripped and sort of reconditioned, so it gets it all sort of basically back into tip-top condition. New spark plug as well. Some wires do look a little tired, so if the budget stretches to it, I may potentially ask for some new wires as well, so get some new wire input in. Again, just quality of life upgrades, just to make sure that this goes for years to come, and stuff. And yeah, as I said, obviously the tyres do need to be done at some point, and there's a little bit of a close-up of the state of the Technigas exhaust. As you see, it's got a few sort of scratches and whatnot, and just a little bit of sort of paint corrosion and stuff, and a little bit of rust there, as you can see. But it should be okay for the next few months. But yeah, obviously that's going to be one of the big ones in the new year. But yeah, so the next potential upgrades will be to the engine, just getting, as I say, getting some quality of life done on that, just to help bring that up, so can get many more years of riding and stuff out of it as well. In regards to the rims, I don't know, I'll probably keep the rims. When I get the wheels changed, I may see if a garage can sort of recondition them, sort of bring them back into good nick. I mean, they're not too bad. I mean, I do give them clean, but they do look a little sort of tired even after a clean. Look a little tired. I mean, even the brake calipers as well do look a little tired. So, and that's another thing as well in regards to the brakes. So we'll be getting some new brake pads done during the service as well, just to obviously help extend the life of the ped. So yeah. So the next video, well, the next update video I do on the ped will likely be sort of after it's had a service. And I'll obviously explain, what was done in the service. I've just explained what I'm going to sort of try and get done during that service. May even see if they can calibrate the speedo so it actually registers the actual speed and not and not be sort of 10 mile an hour too fast, but we will go from there and we'll see what happens. Folks, so just a little sort of catch-up video about what you can expect from the ped, and you know, the little upgrades to it. If anyone does want to see future videos in regards to things like that, obviously if I am allowed to obviously film it going for its service, which probably won't happen, but if there is a garage that will allow me to film, you know, the ped going through its service, then obviously I'll do so. If not, I'll just give you an update post-service, let you know what happened, what was fixed, what wasn't fixed, and yeah, and then obviously if there are any visible changes, you will see some visible changes. But other than that, that's pretty much it for now. Thank you for watching. If you do like these types of videos, obviously do comment down below. Obviously, what ped do you ride? Do you ride a ped? Do you ride a 125? Do you ride, you know, what, do you even have your full license and ride a super bike, you know, something a little bit faster than 50cc? Do let me know, because I like to hear your comments on there. I probably will be filming another video on Monday, which will be the 29th of September, if my memory serves me correctly. Probably won't be that, because I was already wrong about the month in the first attempt at this video. But with Monday being the last opportunity for the bike meets before obviously the winter season comes in, I may sort of film that. I was going to film the first bike meet I went to, however I just wasn't able to do so. But at the next one, I'll definitely try and sort of get onto that and try and sort of record the bike meet, you know, try and catch some cool bikes that are coming in, catch some cool bikes that are leaving as well, and give, you know, sort of do a good sort of film walk around of all the bikes that are there. So yeah, so I'll try and get that done on Monday. But anyway, I'm going to stop rambling on. Enjoy the rest of your week, guys, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye for now. See you soon.